welcome back to our community. Susie Thomas visiting with Olivia Hirschberger, founder of Simply Give and the Little Givers Club. And a really neat event coming up May 17th. Get this on your calendar. Meet over at Hoover Park. It's for Women of Strength, 6 o'clock, beautiful catered meal. Remind us what we're going to be eating.
It's actually champagne chicken and I think orzo and snap peas and it's going to be a great buffet.
And you've got lots of entertainment, but in the meantime, what we're going to be doing is putting together goodie bags that will be then distributed to women that are going through cancer treatment.
Yes. So the first year we did this, we made 50 bags, and this year we're up to making 500 bags.
That's amazing.
And it's just because of the awesome support from the community and all the women coming together saying like, hey, I'm bringing a friend because we know someone battling, or it's been awesome that we've grown so much. So we'll drop these bags off at local cancer centers, and then they will hand them out to the patients.
Right. That's perfect because they've got the contact with exactly the people. Aren't you amazed at what a happy place a cancer center is? That's what it blows me away every single time. It must be the people that work there, the specific amazing gift they have, but there's some type of a whole attitude when you walk in. It's a very positive place. Have you noticed that as well?
Yeah. Actually, my son and daughter came with me. My mother-in-law actually got diagnosed in August. And so they came with me to an appointment, and they were drinking their little smoothies, and the nurses are coming out and smiling and calling patients back. And, yeah, they just are so sweet, always have a smile on their face. And I think that's exactly what the patients need is just, positivity.
It is. It's part of the healing process, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The other thing I think that really strikes you, Olivia, is that there is no respecter of age group or persons. You see people from all walks of life and all ages in each of those cubicles taking their treatments. And it's very sobering.
It is.
And yet, a happy place. It's really a little contradiction there.
It is.
It's amazing. All right. So, Women of Strength, you want us mostly to be bringing as many $5 Starbucks gift cards as we can.
Yes.
And now, why the journaling notebook and pen?
I just feel like there's so many emotions associated with people diagnosed, or even if someone would want to gift this to like a caregiver, just to like get your feelings out on paper, or even if they want to doodle, if they want to take it with them to their treatments. We just thought we'd add that in as just a little something extra.
It's a pretty healthy thing to do, is to be journaling, and maybe specifically while they're going through this particular path.
Yes.
You've been doing this for some time, and I know you've got some neat stories of the impact that Simply Give has been doing. What do you hear? What do you hear back from people?
Basically, just most people love how easy it is, like to start giving, and just, hey, thank you for encouraging me to do this or this. Like, I forgot how easy it is. And that's one reason I named it Simply Give. I was really praying about a name. Like, I want something about giving, and I want it simple. And giving is so simple. You literally just start giving with whatever you have, even if it's of your time.
Like what's in your hand.
Exactly.
And start there. Are organizations like a little surprised, a little taken aback? What was the YWCA, what was their reaction when suddenly this young lady, busy mom, is showing up and saying, here, I've got all these I'd like to donate.
Yeah.
They've got to be like, wow.
The
thanks.
YWCA, the first time I called, I said, hey, I'm dropping off some items. And they're like, okay, just pull up front. And I was like, well, I kind of have like 50 bags of like bras and underwear and pads and tampons. And they're like, okay, why don't you pull around back and we'll meet you. So now I think it's something that they look forward to each year. We just kind of count on each other like, hey, can we partner with you again? And they're so sweet and they're so funny because I always make them do a photo shoot. I'm like, okay, we're doing a boomerang and then pose with the bras over here. So it's just, it's fun and it's just, they love it and I love it too.
Yeah, but they must have been like, wow, thank you.
Yeah, they're so thankful. And they have mentioned that, like, we know you're a busy mom. Thank you. Thanks for taking time out to getting women together to give to our organization.
How did you come up with who you will give to?
Well, the first year, our very first event was actually Mardi Gras, which was with the YWCA, and we have it on Mardi Gras. So I actually saw that some women in California had hosted a Mardi Gras. So that's kind of where I got the idea. And then I just was like, what organizations are out there? And I think somebody had mentioned the YWCA.
Yeah.
As far as other events, we kind of see maybe personal experience or a friend that says like, hey, for Project Lullaby, where we made bags for women who have miscarried, someone came to me and said, hey, you know, I just had a miscarriage. I felt like the doctor treated me like another number. And I walked away with just sadness. And so we contacted a local OBGYN and said, hey, would you be able to pass out these bags to women who need them? And so it's just like finding women who are going through something and then finding a doctor or organization that's important to them or that are making an impact in the community. So we always partner with other nonprofits.
What have you done in the area of fostering and adopting? That was another one that you
our
mentioned.
July event this year is going to be for foster and adoptive families. So we're going to be collecting school supplies for a local foster care agency, and then we're going to be making 10 adoption baskets. And I want to contact like a judge or some type of family court to be able to present these baskets to families who their adoption has just become official. So like gift cards, Chick-fil-A, Red Robin, bubbles, sidewalk chalk, balloons, just anything fun. So at this event, we'll hear from someone who was adopted, we'll hear from a foster agency, and then someone who is going through an adoption. They're actually going to be adopting their second little baby girl, I think, next month. So we just love hearing real life stories from women. You know, none of us are speakers. We just get up there and kind of share our hearts. And they're all just really sweet Christian women. And we can't wait to come together to do that in July.
And what date will that be?
That will be July 21st. It's a Saturday morning. It'll be a brunch at First Christian Church.
Awesome. All right, you're doing something else in July, because this is what I am so impressed with, is not just getting people involved with giving, but instilling that in your children as a way of life. That's what the Little Givers Club is all about.
Yes.
Let's talk about your own kids.
Yes.
And what you see in them as far as their heart for giving just by being brought up this way.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me say even my kids have a selfish nature like most kids.
We all do.
And that is why it's so important to continue to teach them about giving, because they're kids. They're going to want. But I want to teach them, okay, it's okay to want some things, but we also need to give some things. And so it's really cool now, because if we go to the Dollar Tree or we'll go somewhere and my daughter will say like, Mom, we could give this to kids at Akron Children's.
Wow.
Or it's so sweet. And then, of course, anytime they see like Salvation Army bell ringers, they want to give. And you know what, every time I'm like, here, I'm not like, we did it last, or we're not doing it again.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, you can give anytime you want, you know? And so our event is coming up at the Akron Rubber Ducks. This year we're partnering all year long with Officer Lamar Sharp. He's incredible. He does community policing, and he has an organization called Be a Better Me. So we are partnering all year long with him. So in February, we had something called Jumping with Officer Sharp at Sky Zone, and we collected $5 McDonald's gift cards for him to give to kids as an incentive for doing good in school, listening to their teachers. And then at this event, we actually will meet at the Akron Rubber Ducks, walk around the field. They recognize us before the game. And then we're collecting juice boxes and any type of sports balls for him to give out while he's community policing this summer.
What a great partnership
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Simply Give and Be a Better Me would somehow get together.
Exactly. It's
And
fun.
it would be worth the price of admission to see Lamar Sharp jumping on a trampoline.
I know. He's so sweet. He's
Oh, my
awesome.
goodness, yes, so fun. All right, that's going to be July 14th at the Akron Rubber Ducks.
Yes.
And how do people get information? Again, Eventbrite? Or what do
They
you do?
can find our page on Facebook or
Okay.
Instagram, Little Givers Club, and we do put all of our information on there.
Okay.
That's we do all of our postings on there. And then once it gets closer, I'll post a link for ticket information.
Let's review how we get signed up to be able to be at the Women of Strength on May 17th. That's the one coming up soonest.
Yes.
And you've got several ways to be able to do it.
Yes, so they can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook, Simply Give OH, or just Google Simply Give. Same with Instagram, Simply Give OH. And there is a link in our Instagram profile to purchase tickets through Eventbrite. I also will post the link on Facebook. There's an event called Women of Strength on Facebook, so they could also find it that way. Right now, we do not have a website currently going, so pretty much just if you Google it, it should come up.
It sounds great. Yes. Well, you almost don't need one as long as you're using social media as effectively as you're using it. Yeah, totally good. You have said in the past that your parents really are the ones who lived this out for you to see. And so you are demonstration of a second generation and now growing up, raising a third generation of people who simply give. Talk about your mom and dad a bit.
My parents are awesome Christian, or I was raised in an awesome Christian family, and I always saw them giving to whether it was our family or, to complete strangers, people walking down the street, do you want a cold water? Or this story that just happened not too long ago, my parents heard someone crying in their car, and so they jumped in their car and just went to see what was wrong with them and prayed with them in a parking lot. They were like, hey, are you okay?
Wow.
Really, truly, sweet, loving people that care for people, and I'm like, who just jumps in their car and goes after a crying person, and she's like, I forget what she was going through, the woman, but everybody wants to feel loved, and so many people are going through things, especially these days, and need support. So they've always been amazing people to reach out to women or families, going through tough situations. If it wasn't giving money or food, it was giving of their time. So they've been an awesome example.
But you also have to be able to talk your husband into this as well.
Yes.
To be able to say, I think I'm going to start a 501c3, which I know you guys funded yourselves for a while in the beginning.
So my husband's pretty much my biggest cheerleader, and it just totally encourages me to do this. And event week is kind of crazy mama mode. And so he's just like, I got the kids, you do your thing. Wow. Anything you need, let me know. And so he's been a huge part of Simply Give, kind of behind the scenes, and he's just such a generous man. So
going back to what you said in the very, very beginning, that it all begins with family. Talk about your own family and what you're able to do. You must have you need some downtime. You need some just couple time, just you and Sean, and then as your own family to be able to be giving. What kinds of things do you do for your children as a surprise? Or to encourage them to do the same?
I guess we just try to maybe, not do as much, if that makes sense. Just kind of chilling and relaxing and hey, this is what life is about, is family. Not being busy in every sport. We are a sports family, but I refuse to jump on the bandwagon where sports rule our lives 24/7 and having our kids in 5 different things at once. We are just love having time at home together, or we'll surprise them with just, fun nights or water fights. The one night we had a balloon fight and they got out the hose and we let them dump water on us. Those are the things that they're going to remember, when they get older. So just having fun and just being a family.
And I love that, because I'm hearing kids need bored time.
Yeah.
Being bored. They need some time to just go ahead and chill.
Yeah. And go outside and play.
Right.
Get dirty.
Exactly. Yes. Well, it's all great advice. Want to see you on May 17th over at Hoover Park for the Women of Strength, and get those kids out to the Rubber Ducks game on July 14th with Officer Sharp and Olivia Hirschberger. Thank you so much for all you do in our community.
Thank you so much, Susie.